Nigeria's history begins with ancient civilizations. Around 800 BC, the Nok culture emerged from Jos, the northern part of Nigeria, known for its advanced ironworking and sculptures, one of Africa's earliest complex societies. By the 11th century, powerful kingdoms and empires formed, such as the Borno Empire in the northeast around Lake Chad, the Oyo Empire in the southwest, which was a Yoruba-dominated area, and the Benin Kingdom in the south. These societies thrived on trade, agriculture, and arts. The trans-Saharan trade brought Islam to the north by the 11th century, while the south engaged in coastal trade with Europeans starting in the 15th century. From the 16th to the 19th centuries, the Atlantic slave trade devastated the regions, with millions forcibly taken from areas like the Bight of Benin. In the early 800s, the Fulani Jihad led by Osman Danfodio established the Sokoto Caliphate, unifying much of northern Nigeria under Islamic rule. European influence grew in the 19th century. British explorers like Mungo Park, who died in 1806 near Bosa, paved the way for colonization. In 1851, Britain bombarded Lagos to end the slave trade, annexing it in 1861. By 1900s, the Royal Niger Company controlled trade, and in 1914, Britain amalgamated the northern and the southern protectorates into the colony and protectorates of Nigeria by Frederick Lord Lugard, and it was named Nigeria by his wife, Flora Shaw. But before that, I'll tell you a story. There is a story that says the Royal Niger Company sold Nigeria to the British government for £865,000. Nigeria was created to supply goods and services to Great Britain. This is how the colonial rule started in Nigeria. Nigeria was a business deal between a government and a company. The company is still around today, but it has changed its name. It is now called Unilever. With all their products all over the world, nobody has questioned them as to why they committed such a heinous crime on the people of Nigeria. July 1947, the NCNC delegation goes to England, immobilizing mass support against the British rule and shaping the path to independence for the people of Nigeria. The delegates that were sent were Jaja A. Wachuku, a lawyer, Fumi Ransom Kuti, an activist and mother of Fela Kuti, first Nigerian woman to drive a car, and all other important dignitaries that were sent to London. They were there to fight for self-government and equal rights. They wanted Nigerians to rule Nigeria. Let me tell you about the founding fathers of Nigeria. They were Obafemi Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa, Sir Ahmadu Bello, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. These were the men that fought for the freedom of Nigeria and put an end to colonialism in Nigeria. There were three main political parties. We had the NCNC, which was the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons. This name reflected its initial ambition to represent not only Nigerians, but also the British Cameroons. The inclusion of Cameroon showed the party's pan-regional outlook and its goal of uniting diverse territories under British colonial rule for anti-colonial struggle. The NCNC was highly situated in the eastern region, and it was led by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. We also had the Northern People's Congress. It was situated at the northern region, and it was controlled by Sir Ahmadu Bello. We also have the Action Group, which was based in the western region of Nigeria. It was headed by Obafemi Awolowo. The way the British designed Nigeria, they designed the North to continue and reign in power because they were large in number and in region, hence giving them more seats in the parliament. Chief Festus Okotie-Eboh, pre-independence he was the Minister of Labour, After independence, he became the finance minister. He established the Central Bank and Stock Exchange of Nigeria. He created the Nigeria Pound. He was funded by the UK, which he then used the money to fund the NCNC, which was the ruling party at the time. Some looked at him as the most corrupt businessman in Nigeria. In Nigeria politics, while we were having three regions, the Western region, the Eastern region, and the Northern region, there was a new region that was being created by Dennis Osadebe. It was called the Midwestern region. The creation of this Midwestern region put pressure on AG, the Action Group political party. The Action Group political party in the Western region began to fall weak. It led to Ibadan riots in May 1962, where the lives of Nigerians were lost. The federal government had to declare a state of emergency in the region. Several Action Group leaders were put on house arrest after an investigation by Justice G.B. Coker. They found out that Awolowo used public money to fund the Action Group. He also had a conspiracy to overthrow the government. Awolowo was charged with treason, along with Anthony Ehanoro, Lateef Jakonde, and Josiah Olawoyi. They were sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. 1964, the public had lost its interest in the government and in the judiciary. There was constant display of wealth, which made people to know that public funds were being diverted by the elites. In the parliament, AG had disappeared, the Action Group. This means there was no formal opposition party since all its leaders were in prison. The NCNC controlled the Eastern and the Western region. They formed with Samuel Akintola's new NNDP. By 1965, the military is watching. People are calling on the military to take over the government, and they are on the sideline watching as things brew. Violence is all over the country. 1966, the military took over. The Nigerian coup, things fall apart. The coup planners were Major Nzeogu, Major Ofejona, Major Anuforo, Major Ademoyega, and Major Okafor. The 5 objectives for this coup were strike simultaneously in regional capitals, arrest leading politicians, and kill any who resist, avoid reprisals, kill any senior army officers, prevent troop movements, block Niger and Benue, form a new government. But the coup plotters could not find Aguiyi Ironsi. He was nowhere to be found. When Aguiyi Ironsi heard of the coup, he commanded some of his soldiers to lead a suppression against the coup plotters. Normalcy was returned. Ironsi was in charge of the south, while the north was controlled by the coup plotters, Major Nzeogu.
In Kaduna.
Well, it's rather something like the longest day. We started this off on the night of the 13th of January, when a night exercise was planned by the military college, which I command. We took our troops to the ground and taught them how to do night attacks. We didn't tell them what we were planning for, but at the end of the exercise, we took them out and showed them various places where they were to stand and just remain in their vehicle. Next day, we went out again for the same type of exercise, and at the end, we issued them with ammunition this time, live ammunition, and told them that they were going back to the same place as they went yesterday, but this time they were to get certain people.
And they were with you, were they?
Oh, of course they did. Oh, they all supported us.
Did the sergeant himself attempt to fight?
Well, no. We didn't see him until the time we actually shot him. He ran away from his house when we fired the first few shots of anti-tank gun into the building. The whole roof was blown up and the place was set alight. Then we went to the rear of the house and started searching from room to room until we found him amongst the women and children, hiding himself. So we sort of took away the women and children and took him.
Now, what are your relations with General Ironsi in Lagos?
Well, very good. He's my boss. I have always been under him, and I still am under him. There isn't really any problem. A few misunderstandings arose, but this was due to the publication in the press and by announcements over the radio. At one time, they started calling us in Kaduna rebels, whereas in fact the revolution was all a planned affair all over the country, and many other people were cooperating.
Aguiyi signed a unification decree where all the civil service in the states will all be centralized. The Northerners were not happy with this decree because they felt that the Southerners were more educated than them, and this will mean that the Southerners will take jobs from the Northerners, and this decree will lead to the downfall of Aguiyi. 6 months after Aguiyi took over the military government, there was a northern counter coup which was led by Muritala Mohammed. It was the bloodiest coup in the history of Africa. Northern soldiers killed Igbo soldiers. Southerners in Kaduna and Kano and the northern regions of Nigeria ran back to the eastern part of Nigeria. There was internally displaced persons as a result of this counter coup, because the Igbos were terribly maltreated, beaten, and even killed. The Nigerian Civil War, the Biafran War, 1966 to 1970. Then there was a peace talk in Aburi, Ghana, January 1967. Ojukwu and Gowon went to a neutral ground to have peace talks, and they both signed and agreed to come to peace. But then it changed when Yakubu won go back. He said the terms were not properly done, and the war began again. The war was not only about fighting the Igbos, it was also about oil, because oil had been discovered in the southern part of Nigeria, and it was led by Lieutenant Colonel Ojukwu. The men that fought Ojukwu: Shehu Musa Yaradua, Ken Sarubiwa, Muhammadu Buhari, Ibrahim Babangida, Benjamin Adekunle the Black Scorpion, Olusegun Obasanjo. The French supplied military equipment to Ojukwu and his Biafran soldiers because they had an interest in the oil in the southern part of Nigeria. On the 6th of January 1970, Colonial Obasanjo led a final push into Owerri, and Biafra began to collapse. Ojukwu fled and left Philip Effiong in charge, his vice president of Biafra. After much pressure, Philip Effiong surrendered. The war is over. 1970 to 1979, rebuilding, rehabilitation, reconciliation. No victor, no vanquish. Ojukwu lived in exile away from Nigeria for 12 years until he was pardoned. He died on June 2011.
Appointment and redeployment. Philip Effiong.
Hello, Your Excellency.
Glad to see you again.
My pleasure.
How are you?
Very well indeed.
Glad to see you again. Thank you.
Patrick Amadi.
How are you?
Excellency.
Glad to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Glad to see you again.
It's an experience.
Honestly. Glad to see you again.
And I would like, therefore, to take this opportunity to say that I, Major General Philip Effiong, officer administering the government of the Republic of Biafra, now wish to make the following declaration: that we affirm we are loyal Nigerian citizens and accept the authority of the Federal Military Government of Nigeria, that we accept the existing administrative and political structure of the Federation of Nigeria, that any future constitutional arrangement will be worked out by representatives of the people of Nigeria, that the Republic of Biafra hereby ceases to exist.
There was another coup, the bloodless coup against Yakubu Gowon, July 1975 coup. After the coup, Muritala was appointed to lead the country. He was to share power with two other officers, Obasanjo and Danjuma. 1979, Shehu Shagari becomes the president of Nigeria. He and Alex Ekwueme leads Nigeria.
There are many dangerous people in Africa. The president of Nigeria is dangerous. Shagari is dangerous. As a person himself, he's weak. But his surroundings, his administration is dangerous. He is not as dynamic to be as dangerous, but his setup is dangerous. Because they all say he's great and everything, but underneath, he's spoiling the whole continent, you understand? So he's dangerous. You know, he has nothing to offer. He doesn't make big statements as such, but it's in Nigeria they come and do apartheid committee, apartheid this, you know, they're meeting about Namibia in Nigeria. Everything Nigeria takes on its head. You see, but this country is a Gestapo country. How can Nigeria be talking about South Africa? You see, South Africa is better than Nigeria. I know so. But look, we are saying whites are mistreating blacks in South Africa. Okay, that is bad. That is racism. They have a reason to do it. Then blacks are mistreating blacks in Nigeria. What's the reason? That's worse. Police beat people on the streets like dogs.
Him tackle politicians, we rule Nigeria before. Disabled politicians, we spoil Nigeria before. Ambassador carry all of them they are now. The young Africans, they get 2 ears for head, them get 2 eyes too. Them they see the thing where they happen on them, they hear them too. Few people they fat with the big money and the rest they hungry. Me I challenge your boss so Jordan, while you're him there all the time. Make him carry me go when he cut tight to open book for him. Now why your government we do? Help by me oh, now Ricky my government we do. Yeah, party oh, a party government we do. Help by me oh, we give money, party, arranging it. Why yo, party, arranging it. We give money, why yo, add them together, give me the answer.
One thing I want to assure them, if they think I'm going to change or compromise in my attitude, in my way of life, or in my expression, or in my goal towards politics, they are making me stronger. And I'm much more stronger now. So, as a matter of fact, I'm surprised that I'm so well so quickly. You know, the kind of beating I got, you know. Then you want to see the police beating. It's terrible. I'll show you. You must see it. Look at it. Yeah. See? Look my ears. Right out of my beat the shit out of me. But I say I didn't die. Because my name is Anikulapo. I have death in my pouch. I can't die. They can't kill me.
This is a short and brief history of Nigeria. Hi guys, if you enjoyed this video, I want you to like, comment and subscribe. If you're a fan of my work, can you share this video around so that I can be encouraged to do more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.